Why do some airlines operate on razor thin margins yet stay consistently profitable, while majority of the airlines struggle with delays, high costs, and unhappy passengers? One of the reasons is tracking the right key performance indicators, which are the numbers that connect operations, finance, customer experience, and fleet efficiency. Today, we are going to break down the top 15 airline KPIs that every aviation operator, revenue manager, and FP&A leader must master. And before we jump into the airline KPIs, first let us quickly understand the entire airline value chain, because these KPIs map directly to each stage of airline operations. Airline operates across three major pillars. The first pillar is the flight operations and network planning. This covers schedules, aircraft rotations, crew assignments, delays, and fuel usage. KPIs here are the on time performance, load factor, available seat kilometers, revenue passenger kilometers, and fuel efficiency. The second pillar is the financial and revenue management. Airlines typically use dynamic pricing, revenue optimization, ancillary monetization, and cost control to drive profitability. KPIs like the cost per available seat kilometer, revenue per available seat kilometer, yield, EBITDA margin, and ancillary revenue percentage belong here. And finally, the third pillar is the customer experience and ground operations. This includes check in, baggage handling, boarding, cabin experience, and dispute resolution. KPIs like the NPS, complaint rate, service quality, and mishandling rate originate here. Airline business is capital intensive, hyper competitive, and extremely sensitive to fuel prices, which makes KPIs tracking a mission critical. Now that we understand the airline business model, let us begin with the KPIs that define operational excellence, starting with the on time performance. The airline business KPI number one is the on time performance. The on time performance is calculated by taking the number of on time flights divided by the total number of flights. It shows how reliably flights depart or arrive as per schedule. For FP&A, delays quietly dry up crew costs, airport charges, compensation payouts, and erode customer trust at the same time. On a quick side note, if you are serious about growing your career in FP&A, then do check out our Certified Global FP&A Professional Program. CGFPA is a 6-month accredited certification in FP&A designed to help you become real business partners. If that sounds something you would be interested in, links are in the description. Also, there are a bunch of free resources that you can download on FP&A, including books and free courses. You will find all the links in the description. Airline industry KPI number two is the load factor. Now, load factor is calculated by taking the revenue passenger kilometers and dividing it by the available seat kilometers. We will talk about each of this in detail in a few minutes. For now, let us understand that the load factor tells you how full the aircraft actually is on each flight. For FP&A, a higher load factor means more revenue per flight and a lower cost per passenger, directly improving profitability. Connected to that is the airline KPI number 3, ASK. Now, ASK stands for available seat kilometers. It is calculated as the number of seats available multiplied by the distance flown, and it represents the total passenger capacity an airline puts into the market. For FP&A, ASK is critical for planning capacity, evaluating route profitability, and optimizing fleet deployment. Which brings us to our KPI number 4, which is the revenue passenger kilometers, also known as RPK. Now, RPK is calculated by taking the paying passengers and multiplying it by the distance flown. It shows the actual passenger demand by measuring how far passengers are flown. For FP&A, comparing the RPK with ASK reveals the true capacity utilization and the underlying demand trends. The airline industry KPI number 5 is the fuel burn per flight or fuel efficiency. It tracks how much fuel is consumed on each flight. For FP&A, fuel is the single largest cost for any airline. So even a 1% efficiency improvement can save millions of dollars here. So these operational KPIs that we looked at tell us how efficiently we fly. Next, let us look at how profitably we fly with the financial KPIs. Airline KPI number 6 is the cost per available seat kilometer, also known as CASK. The most important cost metric in the airline industry, showing how much it costs to fly one seat for 1 kilometer. For FP&A, lowering CASK directly improves competitiveness and long-term profitability. Now, connected to CASK is our airline KPI number 7, which is revenue per available seat kilometers, also known as RASK. RASK is calculated by taking the passenger revenues and divided it by the ASK. It shows how much revenue each unit of capacity actually generates. For FP&A, RASK is the core metric for comparing pricing power across routes, aircraft types, and competing airlines. Next on our list is the airline KPI number 8, which is yield per passenger. Now, yield per passenger measures the average revenue per passenger per kilometer or per mile flown. It is calculated by taking the passenger revenue and dividing it by the RPK. Now, for FP&A, this is a key indicator of pricing strategy and demand strength. Airline KPI number 9 is the EBITDA margin, an industry standard profitability metric that looks at the earnings before interest, tax, depreciation, amortization, and rent. For FP&A, the EBITDA margin is widely used to assess the financial health and compare airlines on a like for like basis globally. Airline industry KPI number 10 is the ancillary revenue percentage of the total revenues. It captures income from baggage fees, meals, seat upgrades, Wi-Fi, and other add-ons. For FP&A, this is especially critical for low-cost carriers because it lifts margin without adding any more capacity. So we looked at the finance KPIs, which told us how profitable the airline is. But the customer decides whether that profitability lasts. So let us move to our final set of airline KPIs which are related to services. Airline KPI number 11 is the customer satisfaction. Often it is measured through Net Promoter Score, also known as NPS. NPS is calculated by taking the percentage of promoters and minusing the percentage of detractors from that. It reflects how loyal the passengers are and most importantly how likely they are to recommend the airline. For FP&A, a higher NPS fuels repeat bookings and upgrades, making revenues more stable and predictable. Airline industry KPI number 12 is the baggage mishandling rate, which is calculated by taking the total number of incidences of baggage loss, dividing it by the total number of passengers, multiplying it by 1000. It tracks how many bags are lost, delayed, or damaged per 1000 passengers. For FP&A, a higher mishandling directly increases compensation costs and drives negative customer reviews that could hurt future demand. Airline industry KPI number 13 is the complaint rate per 1000 passengers. It shows how often customers raise issues across the operations. For FP&A, this metric helps pinpoint service gaps and operational bottlenecks before they start hurting revenues and brand. KPI number 14 for airline industry is the onboard service quality score, which reflects the passenger experience through food, cleanliness, crew behavior, Wi-Fi, and the overall comfort in the airline. For FP&A, stronger onboarding experience directly supports higher yield and increased ancillary revenues. Finally, that brings us to our final airline KPI number 15, which is the first contact resolution. The first contact resolution measures how often customer issues are resolved in a single interaction without follow ups. For FP&A, the higher first contact resolution reduces service costs and protects loyalty and repeat revenues. These 15 airline industry KPIs give leaders a full cockpit view of the airline performance, operational reliability, network efficiency, profitability, and customer experience. FP&A teams use these KPIs to answer key questions like: are we flying efficiently? Are our routes profitable? Are our customers happy? Is our cost under control? Let us do a quick recap. We started with the operational airline KPIs like the on time performance, load factor, ASK, RPK, and fuel efficiency. Then we moved on to the financial KPIs like the CASK, RASK, yield, EBITDA margin, and ancillary revenue. Then we talked about the customer KPIs, including the Net Promoter Score, mishandling, complaints, onboarding experience. If you track these consistently for your airline, your business will become more efficient, profitable, and most importantly, loved by customers. If you enjoyed watching this breakdown of the top 15 airline industry KPIs, do like the video and subscribe to our FP&A channel for more such FP&A content. Also, let me know in the comment below which other industry KPI you would like me to create a video on. Also, don't forget to check out a bunch of free FP&A resources, including books, cheat sheets, and courses. All the links are in the description below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.